In this third video of the series, I want to talk about games that divided opinion. Whether some people thought the game was good, some people thought the game was bad. It could be maybe I thought the game was really great and you guys, maybe you weren't convinced by it. Or maybe some other critics out there decided that a game was really great and I'm just like, really? I'm not sure about that one. I want to show you guys some games that I thought divided opinion in 2017. Let's get on with it. We're going to start off with one of the least obvious entries in the list, Buggy Racing. I think most people agree that there's a lot of variety and bang for the buck in this one, but people did question the quality. I personally rather liked it and felt it was a rather good addition to Switch's library. It was a cheap option compared to something like Mario Kart, and did things that Mario Kart really should be doing. Although many people seem to dismiss this game, though thanks to its mobile origins, as well as exaggerated physics, far more arcadey in nature compared to what they were probably used to. It's a fair criticism, but I think you can still take it as it is, and it's somewhat enjoyable for the price. At least I think so. If there's a game quite as opinion dividing as Heroes of the Monkey Tavern on the Switch from the last year, I would love to hear it. This old school first person dungeon crawler really did put people into two groups. Those that hated it and those that loved it. Some people really enjoyed the old school nature of it, pining for the nostalgic good old days when this was literally every RPG in existence. You pick your squad and enter the dungeon, climbing the tower, finding treasure and so on. I could see it myself even though I have no nostalgia for this kind of game at all. Then there were those who thought this game was far too archaic for its own good. The controls were questionable at best, while the amateurish visuals and presentation really didn't help the game's cause with the uninitiated. I generally didn't know what to think about it. I know some people would love it, while others would look at it and laugh at how outdated it is. I think Montys Racing is where there was a divide between me and my audience, one of the few times such thing has happened. I feel most people were very welcoming to this top-down racer, since it brought something that was missing from the Switch's library. It also had an enormous single-player campaign and really solid gameplay. I just found it boring. The problem was that there just wasn't enough tracks. The tracks that were present often looked very similar. There just wasn't enough variety to keep me interested in the campaign mode. Having to play the same tracks over and over again was boring, despite having to do different missions. It's weird because they had a lot of variety in everything else, with cars, upgrades, missions and modes. They just forgot the tracks, which is where most of the personality comes from in a racing game. When you think about your favourite racing games in the past, you definitely think about the tracks. This doesn't have any. There's no getting around the fact that Vaccine looks awful. Watching a video or seeing a screenshot will instantly put thoughts in your mind like, is this a joke? This looks terrible, and so on. Not only that, but the roguelike mechanics and the seeming random nature of success definitely made it a tough sell to people. Me too at first, but it's one of those games that a few people actually really like me. Once I'd learned how to play the game and get around the seemingly impossible difficulty, I actually really enjoyed it despite its obvious limitations. If you go in expecting a love letter to the original Resident Evil, you are going to be sorely disappointed gameplay wise. It may look like it and control like it, but the goals and gameplay style are completely different from each other. This is more of an arcadey style game where you need to find the cure for your friend as fast as possible. If you learn how to play it, I'm sure you'll see this in a different light. When I came out with a semi-positive review for Vaccine, you did have the detractors, but you also had some of the fans coming out of the woodwork too to support the game. Vaccine definitely does have its fans, and I think it could be a game with a cult following in time. It's just one of those games you either love or hate. Now, I didn't review the Coma recut on this channel, but you may be surprised to hear that I did review it for the guys over at Switchwatch. This survival horror stealth game should have been really good. It's very much got Korean horror written all over it, and the concept is fantastic. For me, it just didn't come together. With unresponsive controls and a stalking mechanic that weared thin very quickly, it actually became a chore to play after a short time. I just didn't enjoy it even though I really wanted to. What surprised me, however, was just how other people reacted to the game. With review scores being all over the place, it seems not everyone could agree if it was good or bad. There's very little consensus on this game. At the end, I awarded it a 5 out of 10, citing wasted potential and misguided threat system, but I did see positives in it. The concept was great, as was the music, but it seems other people were really positive about many other things too. It seems we just can't agree. Okay guys, those were 5 games that I thought divided opinion on the Switch in 2017. What do you guys think? Did you buy any of the games that I've just mentioned? Do you agree with me? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Are there any other divisive games out there? Be sure to let me know because I love a good debate. Take care guys, bye bye.